Redmi 1S is available on Flipkart on flash sales, and in last two sales 40,000 units were sold in the matter of less than 5 seconds. But is this device worth it, or this is all hype? Or do you think there must be a catch? How can you get this kind of a device so cheap? Well, let's find out. This is Saurabh Nahar here from All About Technologies, and you're watching the full review of Redmi 1S. Talking about the specs given on the box pack, we have 2050 mAh battery, 1.6 GHz quad core Snapdragon processor, we have 4.7-inch Retina IPS display, 8 megapixel camera with flash, and front 1.6 megapixel camera. We also have dual SIM and 1 GB RAM. Now let's take a look at the MRP quoted on the box pack. So it says 7,999, but you can get it for 5,999 on Flipkart. Now let me get rid of this plastic packaging so that we can have a look at the device itself. And seems like I have to cut the seal also over here. And finally, here is the device on the top. And there's a lot of dust on the device. Let me get the device in my hand and clean off the device. So here is the Redmi 1S. I'll keep it aside for the time being. And inside this we have some documentation. So let's have a look at the documentation. So firstly we have this which says thank you for choosing Redmi 1S, and it gives various instructions including how to insert a SIM card and SD card and various other stuff. And you also get a warranty statement which has 1 year warranty for the phone and 6 months warranty for the accessories and stuff and various other details. We also get this USB to micro USB data cable which is packed in this plastic. So here it is, USB to micro USB cable, and you can use it for charging your device as well as connecting it to your PC or laptop, whatever you use. And we also get this power adapter, Indian pin style power adapter for charging your device. I'll keep it aside. And you also get this orange colored battery which should be 2050 mAh battery as mentioned on the box pack. So here you can see. Now let's take a physical overview. So on the back we have this 8 megapixel camera with LED flash, and on the top we have this secondary noise cancellation mic, and this camera is capable of shooting 1080p full HD videos, and you have the speaker and MI logo at the bottom. Onto the left we have nothing, and at the bottom we have this micro USB port for charging your device and the primary microphone, and on the right we have this volume key, below that is the power key. If you move ahead, on the top we have this 3.5 mm audio jack, and onto the front we have this 1.3 megapixel front facing camera with earpiece at the center and couple of sensors on the top. And at the bottom we have this 3 touch capacitive buttons which are not backlit, and also we have the LED notification light which is below the home button, as you can see. Moving ahead, let's pop in this battery inside the battery compartment. But before that, let me just get rid of this plastic onto the front and at the back over the camera. And now let's find the indent so that we can remove this back cover to insert the battery inside the battery compartment. And as you can see, here is the battery compartment. So you can insert your SD card, which will accept 64 GB SD card. And here are the two SIM slots, and SIM 1 slot will accept WCDMA as mentioned over here, and SIM 2 slot will accept GSM SIM. Now let's just pop in the battery so that we can power on the device and we can have a look at the device itself. So let's pop up the back cover and power on the device. So the device has finally booted up and I'm going through this setup process, and after that I'll be back. So as you can see, our device is finally booted up completely, and here is the whole UI, which resembles iOS like UI. And you also have this folders and stuff, and the dock at the bottom, which you have in Apple devices. And you also have these Google specific apps pre-installed on the phone, and we have few other apps installed, which includes Facebook and WPS Office, and also Flipkart is pre-installed. And now let's go into the settings to see the Android version. By the way, this device runs on MIUI version 5, which is based on Android 4.3 Jelly Bean out of the box. So you can see the Android 4.3 Jelly Bean. Let's take a look at the storage. So we have around 4.7 GB of storage available out of 8 GB. And if we talk about the RAM available, hold on the menu button and you can see the RAM available over here out of 1 GB, and you can also kill the task which is running currently, and you get around 450 MB of RAM available. Let's take a look at the benchmark scores on this device, starting with the quadrant benchmark. So the total score is 10,092, CPU is 39367, memory is 3556, input output is 4883, 2D 333 and 3D 2319. And now the Antutu benchmark score is 20,912, and you can see it lies below Google Nexus 4 and many other devices. You can see the list and comparative scores, and you can also see the details. In case you want to see, you can pause the video and see the details for yourself. And if we talk about the Nina Mark II score, it is 57 FPS, which is good, and that's about it. So we have ARM Cortex A7 1.6 GHz quad core chipset, which is powered by Snapdragon, and we have Adreno 305 GPU. And if we talk about the chipset, which is MSM blah 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 blah, it is a Snapdragon 400 chipset. We have Android 4.3, and we have screen resolution of 720 by 1280, and available RAM and available storage is also given at the bottom, which I mentioned earlier in this video. And you also have number of sensors on this device, so you can see the number of sensors which are there, which includes gravity, accelerometer, proximity, light sensor, gyroscope and stuff. And that was CPU-Z application. Now let's take a look at the camera of this device. So from here you can switch between the front and the rear camera. Here you have option to start the video mode, and this is the option for flash. So you can set it on auto. And if we take a look at the options that we have various filters over here. So you can select any of the filter that you want. And you also have some modes like HDR, and we also have panorama mode and various other settings. You can play with it if you have the proper knowledge. And you can also take a look at the pictures that I've taken with this 8 megapixel camera of the device. This one is the outdoor shot taken by me, and even this one is the outdoor shot. Both were the normal shots taken by the camera, and this one is the HDR shot, and this is the indoor shot taken by me, and this one is the indoor shot taken by me with flash. So these were few samples taken by the camera. Now let's take a look at the gaming on this device. So I'm playing this Smash It game on high graphics mode, and the FPS score on this device was pretty decent, and because of that you can see the gameplay is also very decent. Not so smooth as I wanted it to be, but you can still play it on high graphics mode. And this game looks like a basic game, but that is not the case, as I say always in my gaming reviews when I play this game. It was very much smooth on the Android One devices, which has got a lower processor, which is clocked at 1.3 GHz compared to 1.6 GHz on the Xiaomi Redmi 1S. But still, the gameplay was pretty smooth compared to Redmi 1S. And now let's take a look at the high-end games, starting up with Asphalt 8, which is a pretty high-end game. And I'm playing this game on medium graphics mode. It was very much laggy and choppy on high graphics mode. I tried playing it, and that is the reason I have shooted this gameplay in medium graphics mode, and it works very fine on the medium graphics mode, as you can see. And all the smoke and flares and glares and whatever you want to say, all the graphics is rendered properly, and the gameplay is pretty much smooth. Although I'm disappointed by the sound quality or the speaker that we have on this device, it is pretty low when compared to the Moto G, which was amazing. The front dual speakers are really good and they enhance the gaming experience on the device, so I liked it a lot. And you can watch the gameplay until we move on to the next game. Also, one thing I would like to say that you can't move applications on your SD card, because there is no such option available. When we go into the settings and then we go into the apps, we have something called SD card, in which you have got the option to move your applications to SD card, but there is no such option on this device. So you have to install all your games on or apps on your internal storage. Although you can store your files and other data and pictures and music on your SD card. And now I'm playing this Real Racing 3, which is a fantastic game, and even this is a high-end game, and as you can see, it works pretty smooth. It is seamless and works fine on this device. So you can play a lot of high-end games on this device without any issues, but do note that you can play it on medium graphics mode, as high graphics mode won't be as smooth as you would like it to be. Now let's play Dead Trigger 2, which is also a high-end game, sort of a high-end game, and even this works really fine. And the display is good enough, although it has got some issues which I'll be talking about at the end of this video. And you can see the speaker gets blocked sometimes, and the gameplay is pretty smooth, no lags whatsoever. So you can watch a bit of a gameplay until we move on to the next game. Sorry, but this was the last game. I am not playing any other game because I have included all the games, two high-end games, which is Asphalt 8 and Real Racing 3, Dead Trigger, and also Smash It. So that's it on the gaming part. And one thing I would like to mention, that the device does gets a bit of warm on the back side. Now let's take a look at the USB OTG support on this device. So I have this OTG cable over here, which I am connecting to the device, and I also have this SanDisk USB, which I'll be connecting it, and I have some files on this USB. So the USB is being detected by the device, as you can see in the notification center, and I'll be accessing the files. So here we have options, which includes internal storage, SD card storage, and USB storage. So I'll be selecting the USB storage to see the files that we have on the USB. So you can access all your files, you can watch movies, you can store your music, pictures and stuff. So that is fantastic. You can use it, and you can also safely remove it like this. So that's about all about OTG. Now let's take a look at the display of Redmi 1S, which is being compared to the Moto G second generation. The display on the Redmi 1S is slightly yellowish. I hope if you can notice the difference between both the displays. It is much accurate on the Moto G second generation, and it is slightly yellowish on the Redmi 1S. And also the speaker on the Redmi 1S is not up to the mark, as it is not too loud as I would expect it to be. And it is very good on the Moto G second generation. You have those dual speakers on the front, which enhances your overall gaming and multimedia experience on the device. So that is missing on the Redmi 1S. Talking about the call quality on this device, it was really decent. I never experienced any sort of problems in the call quality. And also one thing is missing over here is 3G calling, which would disappoint some people. And if we talk about the battery life on this device, it was very decent. I got around 6 to 7 hours of battery life with moderate usage. And it would be different for different peoples, like it would differ on person to person. So you can expect around 6 to 7 hours of battery with moderate usage. And also one thing I would like to say that the three touch capacitive buttons that we have on this device, you won't be able to see them in dark places as they are not backlit, and that would be a problem for some people. So that's about it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. This is Saurabh Nahar here from All About Technologies. Do post your comments and questions in the comment section below, and do give it a thumbs up if you liked my work. It helps me a lot. And thank you guys for watching. And you can also connect with me, or you can ask me questions on Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, and wherever possible. So that's about it, guys. Thank